Kurt Angle loses clean to Corbin. The only question I really have for you, brother, what's next for Angle here? Like, where does he go? Do they continue this storyline? Is this going to be something that we see on Raw next week? Are they going to put it on pause again, like they did with Drew McIntyre last month, and then come back to it a month from now? Like, what do you think they're doing here with Angle, dude?
I really don't know. This is one of the things that, again, people will say that I'm nitpicking here, but like you have somebody like Kurt Angle, right, who like a world-class athlete, one of the greatest of all time. You could build this great overarching story of his big comeback, him getting, some momentum under his belt, winning a couple matches against mid-level guys, and then you could easily pit him up against somebody who's a legitimate contender to maybe the world championship or someone they consider pretty highly within the company. And instead, he's kind of lingering around. He pops in every here and there, and he loses to Baron Corbin, and all these different things. And it just really shows how much they miss opportunities, and they don't really see what they have right under their noses. I mean, you have a story built in here with Kurt Angle, somebody who's has so many trials and tribulations in his career with his neck, his substance issues, all these different things. You could build this great story of him, wanting this one big run left and wanting it to culminate at WrestleMania against somebody like a Drew McIntyre, like a Finn Balor, somebody who, you could play that storyline up of Kurt Angle doesn't have it in him. He can't win the big one anymore, and have that culminate at WrestleMania. And maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's what they're going to do, and they're telling it a little bit differently than usual. I'm still going to hold my judgment on it until we see what exactly Kurt Angle is going to be doing at WrestleMania, if anything. But I think they would miss a huge opportunity here if they don't take somebody like, for example, Drew McIntyre, who already has a built-in story with him. You could always build Kurt Angle back up and say, have Kurt say, hey, I want to take you on one more time, but this time it's going to be at WrestleMania, a place where I know how to perform, but you don't necessarily know how to perform or perform at yet. So I think there's a great built-in story there. Hopefully they pull the trigger on it, and I'll hold my judgment until the next couple weeks at least.
Yeah, me too, man. I hope they continue to keep Angle on TV and tell this story like kind of quickly. I don't want them to do the stop-start shit with Angle. At least have him be in the arena. Maybe lose to challenge, step up to Bobby Lashley or somebody else, and just continue to tell the story of being the underdog and working his way back. And it's a redemption story. I think that's clear. It's going to be a redemption story somehow, some way. I just don't know how quickly they're going to do it or who it's going to culminate with, because it's obviously not going to be Corbin, or I don't think it's going to be McIntyre at this point either. But